My name is Eddie Eniel, and I am an award-winning director, producer, writer, and actor. And I am here with my good friend.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Gaeta. I'm an actor, a producer, and also I've done some stunts on camera. And thanks for joining us here on the Filmmakers Review, where we're going to be reviewing our take on various films. Today we chose John Wick Chapter 4. So we're going to be reviewing this film. And here's Eddie back to tell you more about this podcast.
Absolutely. This is our first podcast, and we're going to start with John Wick Chapter 4, which is, by the way, one of my favorite action movies of all time. They're amazing is the first thing I'm going to say. And I want to mention before we actually start that we are, because this is our first program, so we are not here to criticize. Just the name film critic, I mean, I hate it. It's like, no.
Yeah.
We know how hard it is to make a film. And even if the film turns out to be a bad one, you know what? Just the fact that someone did the film, that makes it a success, you know, because it's really hard to make one of these things. A lot of people don't really know how hard it is. So anyway, we're just here to give our take on the different films that we're going to be talking about. So without further ado, John Wick. First thing I want to mention is that I was really impressed by the cinematography. The colors were great, the shot selection. There was actually a scene in an art gallery, and while Winston, it's just walking through this art gallery, you see all this magnificent paintings, and it was quite a long walk too, by the way. So yeah, cinematography was really, really great. It was very, very artistic. So Anthony, what is your take? Or some
so my take is mainly on what stood out to me the most was the character development. But just one more thing about the Winston's character there walking through that art gallery. I mean, the poster he looks at, it's like a massive like lion or something, but it's just like he just takes a moment, like a beat to, you know, a few seconds there to look at it. And, you know, being a filmmaker, it's easy to understand and to see the creative director's side of why they chose to shoot the movie the way they did, and it was really spectacular overall. So like the character development, it starts off with, you know, like the characters are almost like little, you know, teenagers, and then they're adults by the end of the movie. So it's, you know, the progression of when things are, you know, calm and everything, and then things heat up really quick, and just throughout the whole movie, it's just nonstop. You know, the daughter, the Asian guy's daughter, he gets killed right in front of her, and then the villain is like, you know, live to see another day. Don't go ahead and come after me because you probably won't make it. I mean, Eddie, you know what I mean? The scene where she's on the steps and
yeah, absolutely.
She's looking at him, and the cinematography there is also really good. And I mean, the villains really stood out to me. They don't really get a lot of credit, the villains, but they did a really good job of progressing from one villain to the next villain. It's like, okay, you know, the deck is stacked against John Wick. You know, he's the tunnel, the light is way, way far away from him. You know, you take 2 steps up, and, you know, John Wick takes about 3 or 4 steps back. But overall, yeah, it's a really good movie seeing the characters just progress. And then, Eddie, you remember Shamir Anderson? You know, he gets hired to like for $7 million to kill John Wick, and then his boss there, who's going to pay him the money, he ends up like, you know, limiting him. He does something to him, so he's less likely to be able to take out John Wick. I guess it's like a hitman reminder, an assassin reminder or something. But it was also good to see as well. What was your next topic to discuss, Eddie? For the
just going back to your point, just like the main villain, showing him who is boss, really, you know what I mean? Because he was asking like for more money and stuff, and he, you know, like, oh, I'm the boss here. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go, my next point is the fight scenes. The fight scenes were amazing. Donnie Yang's character obviously added an extra element to the fight scenes, and that was also my next point. It has, this film in particular has new characters added. Donnie Yang's character Kane was great. Also, the character Tracker, played by Shamir Anderson, He did a really great job as well. He was with his dog. I see now a pattern of dogs being in the John Wick's films, and that also is amazing. Just to have dogs trained as well as they have in these films, it's really great. Going back to your point of the villains, yeah, I think sometimes the villains are downplayed, but the main villain here.
Are you talking about Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah, Bill Skarsgård, Marquise, that was his character. He did an excellent job. And also, I think like a maybe lesser notice, but I noticed him like a lot, was the character Chitty, played by Marco Zaror, which he's from Chile, by the way. He's this massive dude, and he was always constantly beating up on John Wick. He did a really, really great job. And so I enjoyed all these new characters. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a beast there. Marco, he's just like, it's like, there he is again, it's like, how, like this guy, he's like, not just, he doesn't go away, and he's kind of like the John Wick, the villain side, the villain John Wick. And it was really cool to see how they went from the fight scenes and the long shots of the fight scenes. It was just never ending, and the weapons that they used in the fight scenes, the nunchucks, they had crossbows. I mean, and these are actors who are trained. They go through extensive training to be able to use these weapons and make it look realistic for the camera and for the audience as well. So it just it was an overwhelming experience, I guess, just watching the movie, and it being the fourth film in the franchise and not exactly knowing what to expect. Like they've already done 1, and then 2 was like wow, 3 was like ah. And then by the fourth film, it's like, what are they going to do next? And they definitely did a really good job of going over the top, above and beyond what I was expecting from that movie. And I was really pleased with the overall outcome of that film, to say the least. And did you have any takes on? Well, I mean, for me, like if someone's going to spend hundreds of $1 million on a movie, I'm going to find something to like about it. But Eddie, was there anything else that stood out to you from that movie, John Wick 4?
I mean, what I would say is that every single movie, they up the stakes more. It's been like more, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just gotten better, and normally that doesn't happen in a lot of films. By the third one, it's like, oh, okay, I'm glad it ended already or something,
Yeah, I hear it. Like Scream 6 is like one of the few films that did better
it was better than the others. And not only because of money, it's just that they put it in their mind to make a better film. The films has made very good money. So yes, they can invest more money to make it even better. And they have. They absolutely did. So anyway, just to come to a conclusion here. Before I actually get to that, my next point is going to be, and it's actually a question: is there going to be a John Wick number 5? Dun, dun, dun. I mean, we don't know. I guess nobody really exactly knows. Maybe the director or producer of it or something. But I'm going to say this. There were like some unresolved issues. For example, the character Akira, played by Rina, I'm not even going to try to mention her name, Sawayama. I hope I said that right.
Okay, hopefully.
Anyway, her father was killed, and she swore vengeance on her killer. And that did not happen in John Wick number 4. So that's one of the unresolved issues in that particular film. So also John Wick swore that he was going to avenge her father, and he didn't. So that is an unresolved issue. So most likely, I hope there is going to continue the John Wick saga.
Yeah, on that topic, I have a feeling there might be as well. And I heard something, I read an article, I think it was on IMDb Pro or something, that there is plans for a John Wick 5. They're just, nothing's in concrete yet. Contracts are not signed. But it's kind of interesting to wonder who is going to be if it's going to still be Keanu Reeves, John Wick in the franchise, or maybe Shamir Anderson there with the dog, the tracker character. he might end up being the new John Wick, or possibly the Asian lady who's avenging her father's death might end up being, it might be a female assassin leading the John Wick franchise. It's really exciting to wonder who is going to, what's going to come out of the next film, if there is in fact a next film. I look forward to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I would rank this film like really high up. The only thing that I am not giving this film a 10 out of 10 is because the truth of the matter is that there are a couple of scenes here and there where John Wick just falls from, I don't know, a building or something.
Like 20 feet up, 30 feet up.
Going like almost nothing. That is the only thing I think is a bit unrealistic. And just for that point, I'm going to give it a 9.8. Everything else of this film, the story, the characters, cinematography, fight scenes, everything else was amazing. So 9.8.
Okay, so we got a 9.8. Yeah, that's it's unless you're a filmmaker, I don't think you can give a film a 10.0, I guess, unless you made the film. But for me, I mean, I found a lot of good things with the film, and I would say, based on the things like Eddie said, the cinematography, the fight scenes. I also like the weapons, the set design, the backdrop, the locations were really good that they used. The villains, there was more than one villain, and John Wick, he also didn't have a lot of dialogue, so it gave other characters their time to their moment of to shine in that franchise. So you can see what they have to offer, those actors. So yeah, I'd say overall I give it about a 9.7, just based on everything. And there is the unrealistic factor, like John Wick's like a superhero, you know what I mean, Eddie? He just keeps falling and falling and getting back up.
He's getting a little Superman strength there. Or
he's Superman like, exactly. So yeah, I'd say 9.7. So yeah, thanks again for watching the Filmmakers Review podcast here with my good buddy and colleague Eddie Eniel. Who's a filmmaker, and I'm Anthony Gaeta, a filmmaker as well. And Eddie, did you have anything else to mention there?
Well, yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching. I do want to mention that you can check our past work. We have a great superhero short film. It's available on Vimeo on demand. We're going to leave a link so that you can check it out. And I'm sure you guys are going to like it. It's a new superhero. It has won a good number of awards. We're really proud of that work. So go ahead and check it out. Subscribe to our channel. We're going to be doing these type of podcasts more often. So it'll be into the next one. Thanks for watching.
Stay tuned. Take care.